My name's Jess, and I am here with the Lorac Unzipped Eyeshadow Palette that I received from Product Testing USA to do my review on. So I'm going to make this video and show you a little bit about it and tell you what I think. So this is what it actually came in, and it shows the inside of the palette on the outside here. And then that slides off, and there's this nice glittery black box, and the palette was inside along with this little eyeshadow primer. So it's nice that it included that. Inside, this is the palette itself, and it's a very nice size. It's small, so it doesn't take up too much space. It's very thin, and it has 10 different shades inside. It's got a combination of matte, like a satin, and a nice shimmery shade in there, a couple shimmery shades in there. So this is the inside, and it does have a mirror, which is always a plus, though it does not stand up on its own. So you would need to have it propped up with something behind it if you wanted to actually use the mirror. And it does have magnetic closure, which is nice because you don't have to worry about it opening up and making a big mess. So these are the shades inside. There are 10 shades, and I really like the variety of shades. There's some dark shades, there's light shades, there's highlighting, and I really love the shimmery shades. Very creamy, and there's like a rose kind of tone throughout. Even in some of the gold, there's like a rose gold, and I love the rose gold. The shades are just very, very beautiful. I love them. If I could make my ideal palette of colors, these would be it. These are gorgeous. But that being said, they leave a ton of fallout. As you can see, the palette looks kind of dirty, and that's because as soon as I was dipping my fingers in it, because I have some swatches I want to show you, it was just getting everywhere. It was just crumbling and falling all over. So it left a big mess, and it's hard to clean because the palette itself is a cardboard. And for $42, I was kind of hoping it would be a little bit better, maybe like a metal. You know, I've got a couple palettes that were in this price range, and they were a nice metal, and they really hold up and last. So with the cardboard, you know, the corners tend to get dented up, and like I showed you, it gets very dirty. So I was not very pleased with the fact that it's cardboard. But like I said, the shades themselves are beautiful, and there's a nice combination of colors in here, and you can mix and match and really blend them to make them look great together. On my arms, I have some swatches of them. On my left arm, this is without the eyeshadow primer that is included, and on my right, this is with the primer. And I definitely noticed that with the primer, the colors were a lot more vivid. They were brighter, and they were a lot more noticeable, and they didn't leave as much fallout. But they still, like, they honestly, like, when I would put this on, it was just crumbling, just going all over. And even when I did it the lightest amount I could with my brush, like I have a shadow brush here, and you just dip it in, and it's just like literally, I don't know if you can see this, it's like literally just tapping that in there, and it's crumbling all over the place. So I'm not a big fan of that, honestly. That's like a really big deal breaker for me personally. And most of the shades did this. A few of them were a little creamier, the shimmery shades, and they didn't do it as much. But, you know, if you're like me and you like to do the rest of your face first and finish the eyes last, it makes a big mess, especially if you've already set your under eye. Kind of sucks. So I was not happy about that. And even though I do love the shades, I have to say that is a huge, huge deal breaker for me. So the little baby primer that it comes with, it did help. Like I said, it made it a little bit darker, and I didn't really notice it staying on any longer. I noticed as the day would go on, you know, like most shadows, it tended to start to fade a little bit, look a little bit lighter, but for the most part, it stayed on pretty well, and it blends very nicely. I don't know if you can see, but I do have a couple of the shades on my eyes. I've actually have Unreal, I have Undiscovered, and I put some of the Unconditional as well in the crease up here. So they work nicely, they blend well, but fallout, I had to touch up my under eyes a lot. So would I recommend it? I personally, I would not recommend it. I feel like there's just way too much fallout, and that's a deal breaker. So the colors are beautiful, and if you love brown tones and gold and warm peachy tones, it's great. But just be prepared to have to touch up your under eyes afterwards. So that's my review, and thanks for watching.